right, next we're going to talk a little bit about reading actual books, okay? And we're going to think about the way our voice sounds when we read. Have you ever listened to someone who you think is a really good reader, and you listen to the way they use their voice? You might notice that they read really smoothly and not choppy. Or maybe when they're showing that they're serious about something, maybe their voice gets really slow, like if your mom said, "Go to your room," okay? But maybe then their voice gets quick when they're excited, like, "I just got a new puppy," okay? So the best way to become a better reader is to listen to somebody read and then try to read just like they do, okay? So that's what we're going to do today. What I want to show you is this chart, and this will help you think about the different ways you can read. So in the middle here is a sailboat, and that's to remind you that it's good to always read smoothly, like you're gliding along. Some other things to think about is the volume. Are you reading loud sometimes and soft other times? Are you reading quickly sometimes and slower sometimes? Or do you sometimes get a low voice and then sometimes get a high voice? So I'm going to read something, and while I'm reading, I want you to think about the way I'm reading, and when I'm finished, you're going to tell me about it. Okay. "It looks like my writing," Emily said. "It looks like mine too," Joe said. Emily stomped her foot and said, "I know it's mine." "Your name isn't on it," Joe said. "Neither is yours," Emily said back. What did you notice about the way I read?
When you read Emily, you went kind of fast, and when you did Joe, you went a little bit slow.
Okay. So sometimes, depending on what you're reading, you might not need to have a high pitch or a low pitch. It might not make sense to. But here, I kind of changed the rate of what I was reading because I think some of these kids sound like they might be angry, and when you're angry, you might slow down. Okay? So now, what I would like you to do is, I'm going to let you read this silently to kind of get to know the words, and then we're going to read it together. Okay, so go ahead and read it silently. Okay?
Okay.
All right. Now, when you read it together, I want to know where you're reading. So I want you to mark under the words as you read. So let's say if you're reading this sentence, I just want you to keep drawing a line wherever you are. Okay? And we're going to read it together. So you get to use the marker. All right, let's start right here. "It looks like my writing,"
said
Emily said. "It looks like mine too," Joe said. Emily stomped her foot and said, "I know it's mine." Let's go over here. "Your name isn't on it," Joe said. "Neither is yours," Emily said back. Okay, I think we did a good job because I'll tell you what I noticed and then you can tell me what you noticed. But I noticed that sometimes we slow down to show like when they're sort of getting mad. What do you think you noticed?
Well, I think that we were really together, and we got a little loud, and then we got a little quiet.
Okay, but we were reading smoothly. Okay, now it's your turn, and you're going to read it just to me by yourself.
Okay.
Okay? And how about we erase these lines, and you can use a line, you can draw a line if you want as you read, or you don't have to this time. Okay?
"It looks like my writing," Emily said. "It looks like mine too," Joe said. Emily stomped her foot and said, "I know it's mine." "Your name isn't on it," Joe said. "Neither is yours," Emily said back.
Okay, great job. When you look at this chart, what can you tell me about the way you think you just read?
I read pretty fast.
Mm-hmm.
I read very smooth.
Mm-hmm. I noticed that sometimes you got a high voice and a soft voice. Okay, so when you practice reading something several times, like when you read the same part again and again and again, it helps you get better. Okay, it helps you read smoother, and it helps you get to know how to use your voice. Great job.
Mm.